You made your final decisions on your roster?
Yeah, we did, and we can walk through it. Did Larry, did you send out?
I haven't sent it out yet, but.
Okay, because there's gonna be some 60-day guys, gonna be some 10-day guys, like officially, like, Stevenson, because I think we can backdate it a couple days, even though we won't need to. The news we have that's probably different is Hayes is gonna start on the IL. His calf, and he doesn't know when he did it. We got off the flight, and the next morning he woke up and he was a little sore. So I think he just thought it would go away. Then the next morning it didn't. So we got him scanned yesterday, and it's a very low grade. I mean, very low grade. But because of his history, he tried to play through this last year at the beginning of the year, and it got him in some trouble. So we just need to nip this in the bud. So we will backdate him a couple days. And, I mean, there's a chance, I hate to put it, there's a chance he only misses 6 games, but, again, when he's healthy, we'll do it. So then one of the corresponding moves is, I'm trying to think how to say this appropriate. Everything that you heard me say about Steer, just erase it. Okay? I didn't mean it. Because he's going to be on our active roster. And the reason we're doing that is, we brought him back here so he could get some hitting, work on his throwing. One, we weren't really sure where he's going to get the hitting. He can still work on his throwing. He can DH some. Doesn't have to do it every day, but having him even 2 out of 3 is better than not having him, and having him available on the bench. And I think the biggest thing is he wanted to do it. Like, I wasn't comfortable going to him and asking him after everything we talked about. But he was pretty adamant that, like, he was ready to do it. So talking to Nick and Brad, it just seemed like it made sense.
So he can DH, or can he play a position?
Not yet.
Just a DH?
Yeah.
And then did Fairchild, Dunn, and Hurtubise all make the team?
Say it again?
Did Fairchild, Dunn, and Hurtubise all make the team? No. So you still have a decision there.
Unless they let us have 27.
Yeah, because
I guess I was counting Steer. Now I'm
But
not counting
still-
Steer. So you still have a decision to make.
No, we just talked to Hurtubise and Dunn, told them they made the team. And Fairchild, the move will be, I believe it's a designate for assignment.
Tomorrow.
And it'll be tomorrow. And the reason they can explain it, I
It's
don't
an
know.
extra spot for Williams.
Thank you.
Extra spot for wins. Because we'll have wins as well.
What did it come down to with Fairchild not making this one?
Some of it was Blake Dunn kind of forced his way onto the team, and I mean that in a good way.
Right.
Like, that's what you want. He kind of did everything you want. I just was talking to him a few minutes ago. One of my challenges is going to be, we don't want to turn him into just a platoon player. Because if something happened, he's probably the next guy up that's an everyday center fielder, right fielder. So we're going to have to find ways to get a little creative with him so he does play enough. But he can play all 3 outfield positions. He competed really well. Just really, everything we talked about all spring, he really tried to take that into a game. And he played situational baseball really well. So, he made the team, but he earned it.
Will Lux now mostly be playing the outfield?
I'm sorry?
Will Lux now mostly be in the outfield?
I don't know. I mean, things can change daily. Like, if you'd asked me yesterday, we had, Hayes playing left field, so things change. That's part of why we move guys around like we do in spring training, so when things arise, you're not just doing it on the fly.
Terry, over the course of your managerial career, I'm wondering any weird, strange, or different superstitions that you partake in the night before an opening day?
I think I've done a lot of weird things. I'm not very superstitious. It's funny because I do things probably the same way every day. That's just because I'm stupid. But I don't believe in wasting my energy on stuff I can't control. so I don't get superstitious. It's hard enough, like, this game can be really draining, trying to spend time on, are your socks the same? In fact, actually, like when I look at players and I see them like reaching, like say their socks are up one day because they're not hitting, I get a little nervous because I'm like, that's not why.
How do you like your bullpen and the versatility and how?
Can I tell you in like a couple months?
Sure.
I mean, I like our whole team. One, I'm supposed to. I'd hate to play for me if I hate our team.
Dumb question. I
But
understand,
but I mean, because at the end of spring training, this was, I think, my 45th or 46th spring training. And some things never change. Like you have some veteran pitchers that when the lights come on, they're different. You still get a little anxiety till you see it. There's no way not to. And I haven't been around these guys before. So I have to go off like what DJ's saying and some of the guys because they were kind of new to me. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to have to grow into some roles, especially with Diaz not available at the beginning. And that's okay too, because I've already talked to him and I said, hey, you come out of spring training, everybody's on a nice schedule. Now all of a sudden the bell rings and all hell breaks loose. And I got to remember that that's not how it can be. We need to keep these guys from over pitching, but also under pitching. We need to keep them nice and strong and fresh so we can have them pitch a long year.
Are you going to let guys develop into the closer role, or are you going to have a guy that you like in mind, or one or two guys for closer while Diaz is out?
I honestly don't know that, and the reason I say that is because it could depend on how we get there. The one thing I'd never want to do is sacrifice a chance to win because you're trying to hold out till the end. Tony Santion is an easy choice. I just think he might be too valuable getting to the ninth. Sometimes giving somebody a clean inning is almost a little easier than coming in a dirty inning with men on base.
How do you view the other end of the bullpen, if you will, like when longer guys who fit into longer roles? Do you have as many bodies there, do you feel, Tito, as you do at the end of the bullpen?
I think we actually are better situated there than maybe I have been in the past with playing places. Suter can go multiple innings, Ashcraft can. So that bails us out where if we happen to have one or a couple back-to-back rough days, you don't necessarily have to make a roster move because we are a little limited there because of guys that have options or don't have options, things like that. So we need to keep track of that.
Terry, I know you talked about from back here in the back row.
I just can't see you. I know you're there.
That's fine. I know you talked about yesterday overreactions to opening day. You want to see this team once they get into the grind of it, but do you get a sense still of the excitement around Cincinnati about what this version of this team looks like under Trey Francona?
Oh, we're excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited too. The players are. It's just I get more excited to get into the grind of the season. Because like I said, tomorrow, if we win, everybody's going to have us going to the World Series. If we lose, we're going to stink. Hopefully that's not the case. And then you have a day off where you got to sit through it and wait. The biggest thing we can do is, because it's such a game of rhythm and timing, and it's hard to kind of find that. And that's why I wanted to play that game last night in Dayton, just to break up the 3 days.
What do you think fans will enjoy about watching this team, no matter whether it's game 1 or game 82 or whatever?
You know what, I always feel like if we played good baseball, like I'd never refer to guys as entertainers. We're baseball players. If they play the game right, it'll be entertaining. I always feel like that.
Do you have a specific clubhouse speech in mind that you typically give opening day, or does it kind of change year to year?
It changes. How we feel about the game never changes, but the messaging can change because of, one, this is my first year here, but depending on if you're young, veteran, just try to always make it pertinent and well-meaning and not be too long-winded.
Is that something that you, I don't know, rehearse or think about before you go into the clubhouse for the first time?
It's funny because I don't ever want to rehearse because that's not, but I feel an obligation to know what I want to say. Anytime you stand up in front of players, I would never wing something. I feel like that's disrespectful. So you try to find a balance.
What are you feeling today on the eve of it all?
You know, there's always a little bit of natural excitement, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of terror. Like, saying that, it might be the greatest feeling in the world. Like, as I've gotten older, I've tried to enjoy more, like the opening day stuff, because normally you're on the line and it's thinking about who's pitching, there's just so much. I try to enjoy it more. I don't know how successful I am, but I do love it.
Yeah.